Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Shirtless Steve. Well, I don't know if it's morning where you guys are at, but it's morning where I'm at. And I'm going to make some French toast. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what you're going to need to cook this. Alright, you're going to need a bowl big enough to put your bread in and turn it over to get both sides of it in the egg. We're going to be using 4 eggs, cinnamon, and sugar. I know this doesn't look like sugar, it's actually a protein container, but this is what I keep my sugar in. Bread, and then you're going to need French toast bread, or this is called Texas toast bread. You can pick this up at pretty much any grocery store that you shop at, but it's got to be Texas toast or French toast bread. Otherwise, it's just going to be regular bread, and it's not going to be French toast. It's just going to be bread made like French toast. And we're going to be using milk. I use 2% milk. I'm not really picky. You can use vitamin D milk, 1%. It really doesn't matter, just milk. And obviously you're going to need a spatula. It doesn't matter what size you use. I kind of like using this one because it's big enough to get under the whole thing and flip it over. But this one will do just fine, doesn't matter. And when I cook anything on a pan or flat top, I use the oil, the spray oil. It's just easier to spray everything with than any regular oil you'd have to pour out and spread around. And we're going to be cooking it on this kind of flat top griddle today. Now you can use a regular pan, but when it comes to French toast or pancakes and stuff like that, using this, if you're making 6 of them, it takes a long time to make each one individually on something like this. So this will work just fine, but I prefer the flat top. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get the eggs, cinnamon, sugar, and milk all in this bowl ready to put the egg into.
Bread. I'm gonna stop.
Or the bread. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to get the egg, cinnamon, sugar, and milk all prepared in the bowl for the bread to go into to soak both sides. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add some sugar in. Now, I don't know an exact measurement.
Sorry? You made me do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add some sugar in. I don't know an exact measurement. I just kind of go off of what it looks like. So I take about a spoonful like this, and I just kind of sprinkle it in there. Now most of the time I don't even use the full spoonful, so I just put back whatever I don't use. Like I said, I go off of what it looks. I don't want to have too much sugar. Sugar is not exactly the healthiest thing for you, but this isn't exactly a healthy meal. It's French toast. So now we're going to take cinnamon and we are going to sprinkle it in. Now what you're going to do with the cinnamon is just kind of sprinkle it over the top of it, because cinnamon, it sits on the top. You can mix it all up in there, but it ends up coming up to the top anyways, and a lot of it ends up coming off on the first few pieces of French toast that you do. So you're going to be constantly adding more of this in as you go. And we're going to put some milk in. That looks good. I would say if I had to measure all this stuff out, that first little bit of cinnamon was probably, I would say, a teaspoon, maybe a little more. And that cup of milk, or that milk, not a cup, and that milk, I would say probably maybe a 1/4 cup. Nothing crazy. I'm going to take a fork. I'm going to stir it up. Now that we have that bowl prepared, what we're going to do is spray this and get it heated up. I'm going to go ahead and spray it. Have it heating up. You don't want it to get too hot, so to start, you just want to put it at a low setting to get it warm, and that way, once I get all of them on there, then I'll turn it up to heat to cook it. Take the first piece. What you're going to do is toss it in there. Get it all on one side, flip it over, and get the other side. And then we're just going to put it on the pan. or flat top. Now I suggest when you do this to bring the bowl over to your pan or flat top, because if you were to take this out and just carry it over there across the whole thing, you're going to be dripping egg all over the place. Alright, so I got about 3 pieces on there. I'm going to go ahead and add more cinnamon in because I noticed they're getting less and less cinnamon on it, so we're going to go ahead and throw some of this in there again. As you get down to the bottom of the bowl, you got to kind of work it around. That way it gets all over the slice of bread. I mean, eggs are cheap, milk's cheap, so I mean, if you really want to, you can add more eggs and milk. That way you're not having to do this, but doing this, you're not really wasting too much. Alright, now I'll go ahead and get that heat turned up. Now on this flat top, I turned it up to about 300. Now, these are kind of tricky to cook with because it'll heat up to about 300 and then it'll shut off. So when it shuts off, there's no heat going to the flat top. So you kind of have to keep an eye on that little thing because I like the heat going to it. So what I'll do is I'll just keep constantly turning it up and turning it up. Now, a lot of people say when they cook stuff, you only flip something once. I end up flipping these like 4 or 5 times just to make sure they're cooked all the way through. So you can do it how you want to do it, but that's how I do it. I don't like eating raw egg on the middle of my slice of bread. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and flip them. It's been about 2 minutes. And they're looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip them again, and it's been roughly about another 2 minutes. So we will flip them and see how they're going. Yep, looks good. Alright, I'll let them sit like that for a little bit, and now I'll just constantly be flipping them just to kind of make sure the insides are all the way cooked through. And now I noticed my light turned off, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it up a little bit more just to keep the heat flowing to the flat top. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip them again. And I'll probably let them sit for another like 30 seconds, and then they will be ready to take off of the griddle. Alright, it's been about 30 seconds on the flat top, so what I like doing is taking a piece of paper towel and putting it down because these let off a lot of moisture and that'll make them soggy. So I'll put a piece of paper towel down first. And there's the final product of French toast. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you guys liked it, make sure you leave a comment down below and subscribe also if you guys want to get more videos like this.